everybody, and welcome to Paper Wishes Vlog. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I'm excited to bring you these great new die sets from Hunky Dory. These are Moonstone cutting die sets. This is special delivery. It has 15 metal dies. Each one has step-by-step instructions in them. This one is Lovely Lantern. It also has 15 dies and full instructions. So let's get right to this. I'm going to show you how to do both of these. This is the special delivery. So when I turn this over, there we go. There's all the wonderful dies in here. And here is the 3D box that it can make. Isn't that cute? Little envelope box, little flowers. It has all these wonderful little flowers and borders to add to it. Look at this adorable little lacy edge that's along the envelope. And because I use double-sided paper, it has this wonderful pattern on the inside. I made mine into a little gift box, so I put some of those little crinkle papers in there you get from the dollar store. And so now I can just put a little piece of jewelry in there. When you turn it over on the back, that's where all the little fun greeting and things happen. So I used more of the little layered flowers. So I'm going to go through and show you what all the products that I use, and then I'll show you how to put it together. So for the paper pack, I used Lilacs and Bloom paper pack. This is brand new from hot off the press. It also comes in, this is a 12 by 12 of course, and it also comes in a 6 by 6. And I believe you can also get it in Artful Card Kit size, which is 8.5 by, or it is 9 by 12, I think. It also has coordinating cardstock and die cuts as well. So pretty thorough collection there. So I used that. I also used some violet suede, which is, I think, my favorite color. I use this a lot, especially when I'm using the Lilacs and Bloom because it's such a great color combination. And then I used these adorable little rainbow flat back pearls on the centers of my flowers for a little dimension there. And then I used just like some white cardstock here in layering the flowers. So what I did is I took all the flowers, put some on the suede, ran it through my die cutting machine. Did some of that with the patterned paper scraps I had, put it through the machine, and also white cardstock. And then I just started assembling them with all the different flower combinations, okay? Use the little border that's right there. So cute. Die cut my leaves from white. And for the little handle, I just used my paper cutter and just cut a strip about a 1/2 inch wide of the suede from the edge and just glued that to the inside of the box to make my little purse handle. Okay. Also, the little flower on the front, I put a little foam tape on so that I could make a little closure, and that little flap could just stick right under there. So let's show you how to put this together. So you first of all have two pieces. Here's the pocket of the envelope. All right, I die cut that one from just that lavender patterned paper from the Lilacs and Bloom. And then I cut, there we go. This is going to be the flap right there. And as you can see, it's already got the score lines and everything with that. This piece right here is what I used. This is the frame here. And I should note here that when I die cut this, oops, there we go, from a rectangle of white cardstock, this little piece comes out, right? So you could use that for something else. And then there was the frame. All right. So, because I'm using lightweight, not using heavy cardstock to construct this, you could just use Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue to assemble that. But if you were using one of our specialty papers or cardstock, I would recommend using extra sticky tape. All right, so what we're going to do with this is we're going to kind of crease all of those scored lines, okay? So they're folding in like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take these little flaps right here. Go. Make sure my dies don't fall off. I'm just following the instructions right here So I've already done this part, I've already scored them. And so here we are right here gluing these little flaps. So you put a little bit of glue right here. Oh, come on, don't get all stopped up. Now let's try this. I'm going to put glue on both of those. A little glue goes a long way. If you put too much glue, just going to hold it right there. The paper is too wet and it just takes longer to dry. So a small amount of glue is best. Right, and then we're going to put, they use tape on theirs. I'm just going to be using glue. They said because I'm using paper, not cardstock. All right, so now I'm going to be taking these little flat pieces and I'm folding these as well. Okay. And it's going to be setting this down so that it's right between the score lines here. So you've got this one down here and then this one up here. There's like a little space that's just the perfect size for this box. And I'm just making sure by going on the inside here that my paper flaps that have glue on them are connecting in the right areas. All right, so that's what we've done here on this step. Then this step right here, we have this flap down here. Just going to put a little bit of glue there, and we're just going to connect that flap down there. All right, and then the rest of it's just all about cutting your flowers and layering those. So as you can see, at this point, that's when I could either leave it like this or put my little purse strap on there like that. That part was not in the instructions, so you'll have to remember that I just cut a little 1/2 inch wide strip and then just looped it from one side to the other, and then put a piece of foam tape there for my closure. Now for this card right here, you've got the envelope here, and then you've got all the flowers cascading out of it. So this is made a little bit differently. For this paper, I used Lacy Coral paper pack. And then I also used, because I'm in love with the suede paper, I used this coral suede to go with that. I also used some gold sparkle holographic paper to die cut with, some white cardstock. And then I used some both gold and white jewel dazzle stickers on the centers of my flowers. And then I used quite a bit of foam tape between the layers. I found that these little size of pre-cut squares, also from Crafter's Companion, these are small 3D foam pads, and they were just the perfect size to fit. And you get a whole bunch. There's 20 sheets of these pre-cut foam squares. All right, so to fold this envelope this way so it's not dimensional is just a tiny bit different. All right, so for this, cut this out of white cardstock. You're going to go ahead and fold your flap like this. And you're just folding all of the things that make it really 3D we're not going to be using. So we're not going to be using these little flaps. Just going to take those and put those right there. And we're not going to use the extra flap here. Just going to fold that in like that. So it's all contained. And we're just going to be putting a little bit of glue on the side corners there. All right, so it's like this. All right, and then this I noted was a little tall. Oops, there we go. It was a little tall, so I actually just folded down this bottom piece right there. And then I just slid this whole thing. Oops, I'm just gonna open it up. It's a little easier that way. There, put it in like that and then secure the back. Okay, so there you have your open pocket. okay, for paper crafting. So I put that right there, glued this all down to the envelope front, and then just made all my beautiful flowers from that. And I've got my cute little greeting. I cut the greeting out of white and then also the brown paper that comes in the lacy coral, and just offset them a tiny little bit so that that brown would show up well against that background. All right, so easy enough. Now let's get on to the lantern. All right, so the lantern also has full color instructions on it. Here are all the die pieces. This is the main lantern piece that you're going to need. This is what it makes. Isn't it beautiful? So I used, for this, I used silver linen, okay, cardstock. It takes 2 sheets to make each lantern, okay, and I'll show you why. I also used, for the windows of the lantern, this is my winter lantern, I used snowfall acetate. Okay, you get 16 sheets in here, so you can make a ton of lanterns. But how beautiful would this be for on your mantle? You could make a bunch of them to go across your mantle for the winter months. You can put in one of these little lights, okay, put that in there. That would look so beautiful twinkling on your mantle. You can also, I thought these would be beautiful to make for a wedding, and you could put them on tables and clusters, and it would just be a gorgeous little statement. It's got this butterfly right here. Look at all the dimension that it's got. So you'll notice I have a window here, 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 but I left this window free so that I could stick a little candle in there. So I'm going to show you how to put this together. It's really simple. So I'm going to actually assemble it out of a completely different color so I can give you another kind of theme or idea how to do this. So the first one you're going to do is you're going to die cut this piece, and I'm just using pastel cardstock. It's got wonderful, this is a tan. I'm going to be using the tan, the pink, the purple for this. You're going to want to cut 2 of this size. All right, so when you get to this size right here, then you're going to choose one of these little kind of roof pieces, like shingle pieces that go up here on that. And for this one on mine, on the silver one, I used the white, and that one comes from this piece right here. Okay, it's got die line all the way around it, so it cuts the entire thing off. Okay, but the other 2 that are on here, you actually cut from, they don't have die lines all the way around them, so you're going to cut it from the actual background. Okay, I wanted to show you both ways to do it. So I'm going to take this one right here, and I like to use a little bit of Hunky Dory's low tack tape. Great for holding down your pieces here. If I can find the end. All right. Oh, come on. What a mess. Let's try that again. All right, so I just like to take small pieces. You're going to put it right here. Going to tack that down. You're also going to take this piece right here, and you're going to put that is the window. All right. Now you're going to take that and you're going to run it through the die cutting machine. And then that's going to cut those 2 pieces. Then you're going to take it off and you're going to move it to this side and do the same thing. Now here's a little tip. It's really important that you get the bottom edges lined up with the bottom edge on this side, okay? So that your windows aren't going like this. So once you've done that, this is what you're going to get. Okay, as you can see, pretty well lined up. This one a little bit higher, and let me show you this one right here. I was in a hurry doing this morning. This one is a little crooked. I don't like that. That drove me nuts. So I'm just going to put that in the back. Okay, so nobody will see it. I'll know it's there, but Okay, so we're just going to take our, I put some extra sticky tape or double-sided tape on my little strips here. Okay, so I've got all that boring tape removed, okay, from my edges. Now I will remind you, all of this is step by step right here on the inside. So we are going to be right here. We're on step 3. All right, so we've got our little tab pieces right here. And each side has a tab. So we're going to connect these together just like this. Making sure that, oh, I forgot to mention, you want to just go over your score lines and bend all of these. Okay. And then, so you want to make sure that these 2 lines right here, you know, line up. Now, one thing that they don't show you here is that once you go ahead and you put this all together, you've got your shape. They don't have you do anything with these edges. These edges up here don't have any tape or anything on them. So I'm going to have you stop right here and note that once we assemble this, we're going to put little pieces of tape here. So I'm going to show you that. All right, so now we've got the bottom right here, and we're going to fold the little flaps in first. That. They all have tape on them. And then we're going to fold this flap down, and, oh darn, put tape on the wrong side. There we go. We don't need that piece. Got too excited about the tape. All right. There. Okay. So it's a little wonky at this point. What are we going to do? Well, right here, these pieces right here really should be taped into place. Because you've got the little lid part right here, and I've put tape on those. Okay, here's the lid die right here. So you're going to fold that all sides. Going to stick. Make sure you get your tabs on the inside of the box. I almost put them on the outside. Okay. There we go. So what they're telling you to do is go ahead and just do this and put that right there. Then I noticed there's some like buckling right there. So that bothered me a little bit. If that bothers you too, just take some tape and we're going to cut it. A little piece of tape right there. Okay, I'm not going to do that on all sides because once again that's boring taping, but you get the idea. If you do that on all the sides, then you're not going to have those little gaps. All right, so then you're just going to take some glue and you're going to put it just in the corner folds, and then you're going to take this, put it like that. And then that's going to stay glued right on. Okay? You want to make sure when you glue it on though that it's straight, because if you glue it on and it's a little off or something, then that's going to show. Right, so that's where we are right there. Now on the inside part, it also doesn't show you to do this. I just took the window piece right here and I die cut a piece of pink cardstock because I wanted to kind of cover up those little folds on the bottom of the box. And I'm just going to put that on point like that. You could put it, you could square it up if you'd like. All right, so remember these window pieces, okay? I'm going to use clear acetate on mine. And I just use clear acetate. You can buy this by the sheet at Paper Wishes. And I just cut my acetate a little bit bigger than my window die cut piece because it has to be a little larger. Otherwise, if you cut it the same size as this, it'll just fall right into itself. And then what you're going to do is you're going to just glue that in like this. And the best way I have found to do this is take my glue bottle just to go on the inside. And you don't need a ton of glue, you just need some at the top and at the bottom. So I'm just going to put in like 5 or 6 dots of glue. That in like that. And that glue just has to connect with a couple of those sides. Oops, now I got some on my window, that's not great. Okay, now I'm going to glue this one in. You get a little glue spot on there, don't worry, because we can cover it up with a flower or something. I'm just going to try something. Let's just try putting it directly on there. See if this is weird. Oh, hey, I actually thought that worked a little easier. Okay. There's 2 ways to do it. Right, so we've got our windows in. One just fell out. There we go. I'm just going to leave it. So one side is opened. All right, so now we have our handle. Here's the handle piece right here. I should mention, when I was doing this from the linen paper, I had to cut 2 of these, glue them back to back so that this was silver on the inside and the outside, okay? But this one, I'm using cardstock that's double-sided in color. I can just put that right there. So my opening is right here. Put some glue on here. And I'm going to put this right here. And I'm just going to hold that just a second till it bonds. Now in the meantime, I have made a whole bunch of flowers and butterflies. And I'm also going to use some pink and purple Jewel Dazzle stickers. See all those. And then I also used some ink pads. So I die cut, for example, a purple butterfly with a white background. And then I inked the edges of the top of the butterfly with the mauve moment. It's just a nice purpley color. And the leaves I die cut from green, and I used a little bit of evergreen on those. And then the pink butterflies and the pink flowers, I put a little dusty rose on those, okay? And then just sat there last night when I was watching TV, inking just a little bit. I just kind of scraped it across the ink pad and then put a dot of glue. And then once the butterfly was dry and the pieces were glued together, I just took and I just bent up these wings just like that, okay? So now we get to do my favorite part, which is decorating this adorable lantern. This is going to be our butterfly lantern. The first thing I'm going to do is start off hoping my handle is glued on there good enough right now. I'm just going to put some butterflies Got 5 butterflies. You can make more if you'd like. See, I've got this nasty little glue spot right there. We're just going to put a butterfly on it. Right on that window. Okay, we're going to put some flowers. I like to cluster the flowers. Now I've already glued the leaves to these just to make this process go a little faster here. And as far as using the specialist acrylic glue, it dries pretty fast, but you just want to have it connect and just dry for just like even 15 seconds will do wonders. Okay, so I'm just working my way up here. And I'm going to put some on the top of the lid. Well, and I thought this particular lantern, perfect for spring, because lanterns just don't have to be for the winter. Oops, I just put my finger on one, released it. There you go. All right, so you're getting the idea. So you can always look, I'm going to finish this up after the video, and you can look in the gallery of photos below the video. Just click on that. If you're watching us on our vlog page at Paper Wishes, there's a gallery below our video, and you'll see the finished lantern there. And if you're watching us on YouTube, then you would just click on the link to the money saver in the description box below, because we have a money saver on all these die sets. And you can click on that and you'll see the gallery on the product page for each one of these. So this finished lantern will also be on the product page for the lantern and all the other projects too. So don't forget to check out the money saver. Thanks for joining me today, and make sure to check back and see how this looks.